is this still muted? Something's going wrong here. Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Your favorite motivator's favorite motivator. The time is now. So get up and put on your crown. Goodbye to yesterday. Welcome to life eternal. Come on, microphone. Cooperate. My microphone is not cooperating. That's all right. It's going to pick me up anyway. Goodbye to yesterday. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, love bugs. It is your favorite motivator, me, the motivator. And welcome to the Get High on Motivation Show. Yes, another week. We still in this thing. Can you believe we've been doing this for like almost 2 years? This might even be show 100. I need to do my homework. And if it is, I'm going to give away something super big and special. Watch. Just watch me. Watch me do me. Watch me do me. I'm telling y'all, I almost didn't record today. I swear I was about this close. I was tired. I was exhausted. I stayed up too late. I was fussing and arguing and doing all kind of stuff that does not really benefit my vibration or benefit you as my audience, because I got to bring the stuff when I come. At least that's what I believe, is I got to bring the real. So this is recording too loud. You want to make sure that your stuff is not recording too loud. Okay. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. All right. Food for thought. And I swear I keep moving this thing down and it does not want to move. Food for thought comes from my tea bag. My tea bag. So my tea bag says, my tea bag string, every beat of your heart is a rhythm of your soul. Every beat of your heart is a rhythm of your soul. Now, when I first read this, I said, man, I'm not doing that. I don't even know what to say. How do I even attack that? And then I thought about my friend Salah from high school. And I remember we were like fresh out of college, or probably in college. And we're like sitting in this park and we're smoking and stuff. Yes, we do that. And she's telling us that how our heartbeat is the drum of the world, or the drum of life, or something like that. And we're like, honey, Erica Badu, shut up and hit the blunt. So anyway, I feel like her right now reading this. I feel like I was really taken back to that spot and to that place, and that same conversation, contemplation that I had for several years after that conversation. And now the tea bag is here to remind me that my heartbeat is the rhythm of my soul. What does that mean? Well, the first thing I thought about is how people's hearts beat. How some people have a slow heart rate. Then I thought about like when you getting hype and you running, and how your heartbeat is racing, or even when you even angry and anxious, your heartbeat is racing. I thought about my heart skipping a beat because of love or being in love. I considered all these things. And I guess that points me to, what is the rhythm? What is the rhythm of my heart? What is the rhythm of your heart? Is it a rhythm that feels like mm, 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 mm? Is it like that beat that kind of gets you hype? Is it that rhythm that kind of mellows you out? What kind of rhythm do you have in life? Because I bet your heartbeat is the basis of that. Just like the drum is the basis of everything else in a band. Or the bass player. If you're a bass player, don't get mad at me. I'm sure it's really you. I think it's really, really you, but they think it's the drum. But what it is that we're expecting for the drummer to keep us on pace. We expect for our hearts to keep us on pace. But let's just really consider, what is the rhythm of my soul? What does it sound like? What does the word rhythm mean? We got to look that up real quick, because that may give us an even clearer indicator of what's going on. Rhythm. I know you music people are probably thinking like, you don't know what rhythm is? Oh my gosh. I know what rhythm is. I don't know how to spell rhythm though. But I'm thinking of how do I say it? I'm thinking of what does my heartbeat tell me about my story? Like if I were to place my hand, how about we all do it just for a moment? Place our hands on our hearts. Get in tune with your beat. What is your rhythm? What do you feel? Close your eyes. And if your heart was singing a song, how would it go? Bringing me back to the question. Is your song one that's uplifting? Or do you have one of those, as I like to call it, crybaby music songs, like R&B that's just like, oh, sappy and sorry, or like the blues? I bet you someone listening to this has that shamanistic drum. That is the beat that is rippling through the universe, making change. I want to be that person. And I want to invite you to be that person. I want us to be that person that is creating a drum that's more like a gong, like boom. It just keeps on going. I would like to see more of us create that type of effect in the universe, in our personal universe, first and foremost, in the universe of our family, in the universe of our community, in the universe at large. Make a declaration to be a resounding gong of positivity, to be a resounding gong of change, of the change that you would like to see. Now, don't go out there in the streets trying to tell everybody else how to change. That's not how it works. Don't be trying to tell your boo how to change. Don't be trying to tell your boss how to change. But how can you change your rhythm so that it properly exemplifies what's going on in your spirit? And that it creates a ripple in the universe to be more of that. The way we create change in the world is creating change in ourselves. So if we want to change the rhythm of what's going on in America, or the rhythm of what's going on in the world, the rhythm of what's going on in certain cultures and communities, we got to change the beat. Does the beat need to be slowed down in some areas, or does it need to be sped up? Or do we just simply need to keep up the tempo? I'm struggling with keeping up the tempo in life. I'm struggling with consistency right now. I have a very strong desire for consistency, for me to produce consistency and for me to experience consistency. But whose responsibility is that? It's mine, right? Our own happiness, our own rhythm, our beat is our responsibility. The rhythm that we're putting out there is our responsibility. So we are working on 1% better, right? And if this is your first time listening to the show, then we are working on being 1% better every single day as family of the Get High on Motivation show. Because we're not trying to be overnight. No, we're taking baby steps towards our success. We're taking baby steps towards becoming the person that we desire to be so we can do what we desire to do and have what we desire to have, because it starts with who you are. So let's continue to work on our 1% better. I'm going to get me some tea and I'll be right back. All right. Perfect timing. My little tea music, as I call this, me know it's time for me to go get some tea one way or the other. So I'll be right back. You got to bear with me. I got to get some tea for real, for real. Do I act like it's in real life? Yes. Yes, all the time. It's never a dull moment with me around. Unless I'm tired. And it still ain't gonna be dull because then I'm probably gonna be super ha. All right. Okay, here we're going back into the show. Thank you for giving me a tea break, love bugs. So earlier I mentioned indicators, which was indicating what we're going to talk about today. So let me ask you, have you ever ran out of gas or been in a car with somebody that ran out of gas? I think that's even more annoying when you're in the car with somebody who's running out of gas and you see that the light is on and they keep on acting like the light is not on. And the next thing y'all on the side of the road. Or what about when you're on the side of the road and you don't know what's going on with your car or what's not going on with your car because your car not going? What about that? Let me ask you another question. Have you ever caught somebody being in your blind spot and you about to hit them? Or you may have actually hit them. Or someone hit you because you were in their blind spot. Sorry I had to dip out on y'all because somebody is running hot water and I'm in a closet with a hot water heater and that it does not make for good podcasting noise and stuff. Now I got to see what was the last thing I said. Let me go back. I'm going to stop right there and pick up right there. Okay. By the way, it takes about 3 or 4 hours to record and produce and publish and market and all that stuff for podcasts, FYI. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the indicator lights and the blind spots in life. I got this advice from a very unlikely character. You know, I always tell you that you can learn from a monkey's uncle. Well, I did get this information from an uncle, and he is that type of uncle that's that cool uncle, that's that crazy uncle, that's, you know, all over the place unc. You know, but unc be dropping some wisdom bombs. And over the years, I have picked up a few lessons, 4 in particular, but 2 I'm going to share with you today. One is about indicator lights, the other one about blind spots. Indicator lights. So like we'll start with the car. We get a gas light when the gas is low. You might get a seat belt thing. Ding, ding, ding. The little thing telling you to put your seatbelt on is an indicator that you might need to take the precautions to be safe. We have indicator lighters letting us know when pressure is getting low, when the oil needs to be changed. We have all these different indicator lights, and the fancier your car is, probably the more indicator lights that you have, which also tells me is probably the more complicated and more complex your life is, you probably have the option of more indicators to be brought to your attention. Indicator lights. So indicator lights come from anywhere and everywhere. The indicators are the things that are coming to signify something before a bigger something happens. And I think the real issue is that we're really not paying attention to the indicator lights. As a matter of fact, we are ignoring the indicators in our life. We can talk about it in health. Let's start. That's real easy. It starts with, ooh, I'm a little tired. Then it might be, oh, my nose is just running a little bit. Ooh, I feel a little warm. You get all these different like small little symptoms. And it's not until you're calling the doctor, you talking like this, that you want something to be done when the indicators had been there the entire time. Anytime your body is demanding rest, that is an indicator that it wants to heal. Our bodies are a self-healing machine. And when we go into sleep, we go into a fast and we're allowing our digestive system to go on break. And we're allowing our body to send energy to other areas that need healing and attention. That's why they call break fast. What other kind of indicators have we had? Maybe my back was hurting a little bit. I know a guy who I want to say maybe stumped his toe or he did something, cut his toe. Now it was swollen and he left it swole. He didn't really do too much about it. Then it had some pain. It might have started turning a little bit of colors and he just kept on ignoring it.
11 hours.
And now he is minus a foot. Indicators. The indicators were there that something was wrong that needed attention, but he ignored them. And now he can't ignore it, not having a foot. What are the indicators in your health currently? Because also I want you to know that the indicators that you are experiencing in your physical health are an indicator of what's going on in your mental health. It's all related. So don't go to the doctor asking for a pill or asking for a shot or asking for a surgery because they can't fix the root of the problem. They can't fix what's going on in your mind by putting some scissors and string to you. That is not the root. And let's make sure that we're getting to the root causes and that we're paying attention to the indicators before we have the heart attack, before we have whatever it is that is major happening in our life. Indicators in relationships. I want you to think about the worst relationship that you have ever been in. How many signs did you receive that this was not the right person, that this was not the right relationship, that this was not serving your highest and greatest good? The signs were there, weren't they? You probably got them when you first met Boo, but you was like, oh, it's okay. People reveal who they are at the beginning. They show us the signs of who they are, even though they're doing their best to put their ego and their best foot forward, because that's what we typically date. We date someone's ego for the first 3 months that we're dating. They're dating our ego and we're dating their ego. So we don't even know who is who. They don't know us and we don't know them. That stuff doesn't start falling away until after those 3 months. But there are some indicators of this person's true personality, of this person's true capacity to be in a relationship with you. But were you paying attention? Are you paying attention now in the relationship you're in now? Let's look at some indicators in our finances. It's an indicator that if you are using more water than you normally do because you're now at home more, and you decided to wash your car twice this month, and you might have a toilet that's running. All indicators that what? The water bill gonna be high. There's always indicators of what's going on. Let's keep going with the plumbing. You got that faucet that you're turning it off, but it's still dripping. That's an indicator that something is faulty in the system. Whether it is a washer that is missing or you just need a whole faucet system, period. The indicators are there that your plumbing needs attention. So what are you going to wait until that day that you turn it and it don't turn off, or you turn it off and it turns back on because you push it a little too far? Let's think about these things, because what really happens, and if we go back to the car scenario, when that indicator light came on that you needed gas and you didn't go get gas, either one, you're going to run out of gas, or two, you're going to run out of gas pump one day where you're going to have to replace your gas pump because you kept on riding around on E. Pay attention to the indicator lights in your car. Pay attention to the indicator lights in your life. Now let's move on to blind spots. Blind spots are those things that we're just quite not aware of ourselves. Even if we kind of know, sometimes we're completely oblivious, but these are our blind spots. And how do we know it's a blind spot? Because somebody's honking their horn. Somebody's saying, ouch. There's a little mess behind us. Like Steve Urkel, did I do that? Yes, you did. Because you weren't aware of your blind spots. If you got a big badonkadonk, you got to be aware that big old booty gonna knock something over. Or you carry a big purse. If you're someone carrying some big equipment, or you driving a truck with something sticking off the back, you got to be aware of how that affects the other people around you. You got to know that there's some blind spots and you need to be aware of them. That's why you see sometimes people have that extra little mirror on their cars, because they want to be aware of their blind spots. Do you want to be aware of your blind spots? If you really want to be aware of your blind spots, let me give you a suggestion. I I want you to get with the person that knows you, that you feel like knows you the most. And maybe get with a person that encounters you the most. Not in the same conversation, two separate conversations. I want you to ask this person to make a list of 10 things that they like about you and 10 things that they do not like about you. Because typically people want to bring up our blind spots in heated conversations. We arguing, then you want to let me know what I've been doing wrong this whole time when you could have been telling me the whole entire time. You probably could have told me 3 months ago, 3 years ago that, I really don't like it when you do this, or when you do this, this is what happens in my world. We have to be mindful of our blind spots. And the reason they're called blind spots is because you don't know that they're there. So don't think that you know. Ask. Be brave and big and bold enough to ask. I bet you big and brave and bold enough to tell somebody what's wrong with them. Be big and brave and bold enough to ask, what do I do that causes you issue? What do I do that causes other people issue or hurt in my life? What are some things that you think that I could do better in? What are the areas that you think need attention in my life? Ask some very serious questions and ask it with the right type of person if you're going to be in conversation. But I really feel like the safest place is to write it on paper. Tell them to write it on paper and give it to you. You can process it by yourself and then schedule a conversation to go through it. Because please believe, when people bring awareness to our blind spots, we're going to be like, nah, I don't do that. Come on, man. If one person tell you that you got hay in your mouth, you're going to be like, you tripping. Somebody else going to say, man, you a horse. And you're going to be like, I am not a horse. I am a human. Thank you. And then a third person was like, man, you a horse. You keep hearing and being told that you are a horse. And if so many people keep telling you the same thing about yourself, it's time to go look in the mirror and see if there's some hay hanging out your mouth. What is the thing that people keep telling you about you that you kind of don't agree with, but you've heard it from multiple people? What is that? Let's look at that. That's a blind spot. And what do we do, though? Now, that's what I didn't consider. What do we do once we have identified our blind spots? What would you do once you have realized that when you do this one thing, it really drives your people nuts? What would you do? Now, understand we're working on being 1% better, and I'm going to remind you of that, because just because somebody has brought to your attention the things that you need to work on and fix in your life doesn't mean that it has to happen overnight or immediately. Don't allow anybody to convince you that you are imperfect. I've been hearing that a lot lately about people. Oh, well, she think she's perfect, or he thinks da 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 da. It's always about this whole perfection and this idea that we are imperfect beings when we were perfectly created. Love bug, you were perfectly created to do what you came to do. You were perfectly created for the experiences of your life. Perfectly created for the person that is for you. We may identify things as imperfections because they don't stand up to our ideas or ideals of how a person or thing should be. But that's not truth. What's truth is that there's some things that we do that negatively affect the people in our lives, whether they are people who are close to us or people who just encounter us out in the world. Love Booker, are you willing to really look and see and ask and accept your blind spots? Do you know how much better it would put you on your game if you did? If we know the things that we do that we haven't been aware of, we now have awareness and can operate from a different place. We can operate with a different mode of operation. But what cannot happen is when we're unwilling to look or to ask and seek these things out and think that we're going to keep on going through life as is and everything going to work out for us. Now, everything always works out for me, and I do trust and believe that. But please believe it can be a longer route to get there. If you've never played the game of life, play it now. I know you got some time on your hands, and if you got kids in your house, perfect game. Play it. Go get it at the Goodwill. Somebody done gave it away. Get the game of life and see how you're still going to get to the same space, but how long, or the stuff you got to go through to get there, the traffic, the detours that you sometimes have to go through because of decisions not being intentionally made or cognitively being made. Know thyself and to thyself be true. Know that you are perfect and you were created perfectly to do what you came to do, but that you have blind spots. And you don't want to wait until after the accidents or after the issues and the problems and everybody's honking their horns at you that you say, oh, wait, I am going the wrong way. I am in the wrong. We have an opportunity every single day to be better, to be more, to do differently. I don't care what happened yesterday. You have a new opportunity today. Let's say you set a goal, like I set a goal yesterday of not snapping on somebody. And I did pretty good. And if I didn't, guess what? I got today. Blank slate, baby. Allow every day to be a blank slate in your life. Only bring in the things that you want to continue. Things and people that you do not want, let it go. It's time for us to release the things that no longer serve our highest and greatest good. It is time for us to be aware of ourselves and how we affect the world around us. We need to be aware of how what we say affects people. We need to be aware of how what we do affects people. In that, we create the better world. In that, we create the change that we really desire to see. We only got a few minutes left, and you know we got to answer a question. And I find this question today funny. I didn't even prepare no answer. I'm just go off the cuff it. You know how I go. All right. See you in a second. Love bugs, if you are having any problems from the hips on down, if you're having problems with your reproductive system, girls or guys, if you are having lower back pain, if you are struggling with your finances and stability and security, whether it's financial security, emotional stability, any of that, then meet me at the How to Heal Your Root Chakra using 7 easy ways. You can click the link in the show description. You can click the link on my website, mimithemotivator.com, or go check me out on Eventbrite. Look up Mimi the Motivator or look up How to Heal Your Root Chakra using 7 easy ways. I'll see you there. Okay, love bugs, we have a few minutes to answer a question. Today's question: what do you think about WAP or WAP? I don't know what it's called. I love it. I love it. WAP. I loved it. I absolutely love the video. I love the lyrics. I love the concept of women embracing their sexuality and their femininity. Many of us are suffering from all kinds of feminine problems down there because we are not honoring our femininity. We are not accepting it. We're not embracing it. Embrace it. And if you have a woman in your life, encourage her to embrace her femininity, embrace her sexuality, embrace all that big booty, embrace them little bitty boobs. If you got a good girl, embrace that too. You need to release some things, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But embrace who you are. Embrace your talents. Those are two talented young ladies who have come together, brought their skill set together, probably bringing their following together. Come on, man. It's just like, that's not even rocket science. That's just pure genius. It's pure genius to collaborate or to partner with someone in your life, or maybe not in your life, who is in a similar industry, doing a similar thing. And so instead of being competition, you all can be allies and make a bigger impact. Consider that. What industry are you in? Or even just your hobby? What kind of difference do you want to make? And what happens, you think, if you partner with, align with someone with that same similar energy, with a similar goal in mind? I think it's going to be a gold record. It's a hit. And that's what's going to happen when you get in alignment with the people in your life who have the same desires of you. Understand, you may not know these people, and you probably got some people in your life that you really want to align with because you feel like they have the talent and the skills that are needed to make happen what you want to make happen. You look at them and you think, man, we on the same page. But understand that sometimes people are going to see that you're on the same page and they're not trying to align with you because they see you as competition. But if you really, really value this person, you better go on and jump in and say, look, man, we need to talk. We need to put our stuff together because we can really do something. We can really make some money out here. We're trying to be billionaires out here. We ain't listening to the Get Home Motivation Show just for the heck of it. We're working on being 1% better. We're working on being our best selves. So continue to do that. And meet me here next week. I am your favorite motivator's favorite motivator, Mimi the Motivator. This is the Get High on Motivation Show. Be happy, be healthy, be you. I love y'all. To yesterday, welcome to life eternal. Whoop. Bye, YouTubers.